Welcome back to Yu Yu Hakusho Anime Review Part 6, the final video of the series. This is my final thoughts on the overall of the anime and where the franchise could go. This is just my opinion. You don't have to basically take into account. Maybe the creator basically, if he heard about these videos, then he might take my ideas into consideration. I don't know. Even though that it has been 21 years since the anime ended, and of course the manga ended a little bit before that. But this is my honest. No, the anime itself, my final thoughts on the anime. It's a great anime, despite the fact third season is the darkest season of the whole series. It's a great anime. Doesn't have any hiccups with it. No hardly any. The only kind of plot hole I still criticize is the whole thing of the whole coming out of nowhere that the main character is descended from a demon. Yeah, this comes completely out of nowhere, both in the manga and the anime. That's my only criticism. That's my only major criticism of both the manga and the anime, is the fact this comes completely out of nowhere, and the only reason why I think they did this was to set up the final arc. Yeah, a very dumb way to set it up, but yeah. It's overall a great anime, and I do recommend it. It's only 4 seasons. It only took me about a week to get through it, and it is on DVD. Filmation has already got it released. It's been on DVD for a while. The English dub for this series actually finished up 11 years ago. So yeah, even though it's no longer in the air, you can probably find it online someplace. But I do recommend probably tracking down DVDs. I watched the entire series online. But yeah, I have read the manga. I watched the films. Now, the series did have some OVAs. I chose not to watch it because all they were just interview segments. That's really all they were. Unlike the OVAs for Naruto and Bleach, which actually were actual stories, these are just interview segments. That's why I chose not to watch them. But I'm pretty much done when it comes to Yu Yu Hakusho franchise, unless, of course, they say do something else with it. I've heard rumors for a while that there might be a crossover between Yu Yu Hakusho and Bleach. It's one crossover that makes most sense when it comes to anime and manga. I personally love to see it. Is there any other franchise it could cross it with? Top of my head, it could probably cross over even with Dragon Ball Z, with Dragon Ball if it wanted to. That could be interesting. Another one cross over with, because it's the same creator, Hunter x Hunter, despite the fact it's kind of a different style franchise, but I don't see why they can't do a crossover between Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, in the case of Dragon Ball, Dr. Stump is set in the same universe as Dragon Ball, because it's the same person who did both mangas. I've personally never read Dr. Stump, but the reason why I'm not reading it, and I have no interest in it, because it's a gag manga. I have no interest in gag mangas. I'm more into action mangas. Action or comedy mangas, basically. That's basically my forte. Yes, I know for a fact One Piece is basically mixed between action and comedy. Some of the other ones, whenever I see a manga that interests me, or at least one that's recommended to me, and I read about it, basically, if it does interest me, I will get into it. But if it's something like Dr. Stump, which is just a gag manga, not interested. No, I have no interest in gag mangas at all. It's not my... I don't have a taste for it at all. It's not my forte, so I pass on Dr. Stump. I don't mind the characters show up at Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Super. I have no problem with it. It's fine. Or if they show up in the Dragon Ball manga. No problem. Because it's the same creator. Don't have a problem with it. Okay. The only other things I think that the franchise should do, one, of course, is do something that, that Naruto, Bleach, I think even One Piece does this too. I think a few other franchises do it as well. Light novels, to show exactly what happened after the story ended, like what happens to the characters, like maybe have a story where it leads up into the wedding of Yusuke and Keiko. That would be interesting, and kind of the same thing with Kazuma and Yukina. And maybe a story for Kurama, basically, where he gets a girlfriend, and maybe later on marries her. That's just my honest opinion, basically trying to develop a relationship with these characters. Maybe they can, I don't know, have it where, like, after they open up the restaurant, that Yusuke basically also has a PI business on the side, where he does pretty much the same thing when he was Spirit Detective, just continuing battling, like, bad demons who might actually break the law. Yep, or at least some who don't care to follow the law and just try to keep the peace. Yeah, being a supernatural PI, call myself like spirit investigator instead of spirit detective. Though he probably keeps the identity of he probably referred to himself as a private spirit detective. So he probably do the same exact thing, fight other monsters who might cause mischief, despite the fact there's a law basically that can't do mischief. If there's anyone basically who breaks the law, he will take him out. Basically, he can act like a peacekeeper or investigate supernatural-based crimes. That sounds like a good idea. I mean, him being a supernatural investigator, he has experience with it, especially battling a bunch of demons. I don't see why not. He could kind of become basically the manga version of John Constantine, but without the smoking. Yeah, it's just my aspect when it comes to that. But in the case of, let's say, if they cross it with Bleach, the only thing I could probably say of how the story could work is, let's say that Ichigo and his friends are investigating some hollows that popped up near Genkai's temple, and they have no idea it's Genkai's temple. It's like, okay, there's some hollows popped up here, so let's just take care of them. And because Yusuke and his friends all have spiritual awareness, they actually can see the hollows, and they'll try to take them out. And basically, Ichigo and his friends basically all take out the hollows. You probably also throw in Rukia and Renji in there as well. Basically, yeah, you can have it where Ichigo travels to, well, the temple with Chad, Orihime, Uru, and of course Rukia and Renji, and maybe a couple other Soul Reapers. But you could probably place this probably after the end of probably about a year after the 1,000-Year War. And you could probably mention that possibly that maybe at this point that Ichigo and Orihime probably starting a relationship, and Ichigo is like trying to tell, he basically sees all these hollows, and basically Yusuke just happily there using temple as basically a way to basically spar with his teammates, and all of a sudden the hollows show up. And they're taking the hollows like one by one. There's probably 100 hollows that somebody must have summoned there. And Ichigo basically just happened to be there because, well, take the hollows, take them all out. Yep. And he just basically goes in there, basically goes crazy and just takes all the hollows. That would be interesting if that was the story. I don't know. But if there's any other franchise, the only franchise I could possibly think that could cross over with Yu Hakusho aside from Hunter x Hunter and Bleach, and maybe Dragon Ball. Yeah, Dragon Ball might be interesting because, well, they're fighting they're fighting mangas. Why not? Or possibly I just want to see the characters from Dragon Ball take part in the Dark Tournament. That might be interesting. The only one I could think of who could do it, actually I can't think of any other one. So basically, just right now, the other ones that could definitely work is Hunter x Hunter and Bleach. Naruto could maybe do it if somehow that the characters from Yu Hakusho end up in basically Naruto's world, and basically they're there chasing some demons, and Naruto basically can, well, see them in a way, and you could probably compare notes with Kurama. It's like, your name is Kurama. And Kurama introduces himself to Naruto. It's like, my name is Kurama. It's like, hey, I have a beast inside of me basically with the same name as you. He's like, really? Yeah. That would be actually interesting if in fact that actually happened. If Kurama from Yu Hakusho meets Kurama from Naruto. So basically, the only crossovers I can say that could definitely work is Bleach, Hunter x Hunter, Naruto might be interesting, and Dragon Ball. That's really it. I can't think of any other manga that could easily work if they do a crossover with Yu Hakusho. I mean, I like crossovers, but as long as they make sense. Okay? But, is there anything else? Aside from like doing spiritual investigations, the marriages of a couple couples, which might be really interesting. Aside from that, there's nothing really. Oh, well, probably a couple of characters, and probably Hiei finally telling Yukina that he's actually her brother. That might be interesting. And more stuff for Kurama, because he's probably one of the most interesting characters of the whole thing, because he's more calculating and he does plan stuff in advance, unlike Yusuke, basically, who doesn't think far ahead. Okay? But that's really it when it comes to all I can say about the Yu Hakusho franchise and where it could go. If you think there's anything that if anybody who is a fan of Yu Hakusho has watched my videos since the first part, they want to do a video response to this, basically their own thoughts on this, go right ahead. Go ahead. Thank you, Edgar, for recommending this series to me, because, well, it's a great series. I have heard of it, and he recommended it to me, and he's also recommended me to watch Naruto. He also recommended to watch Fairy Tail, and, of course, One Piece. Yeah, he's recommended several different franchises, but Yu Hakusho is definitely one of the basically he recommended to me. I'm currently reading Hunter x Hunter right now, One Piece, and Naruto and Bleach. Inuyasha was one he did not recommend to me because I was already reading it and I was aware of it. And Dragon Ball, he did recommend that to me because I was already a fan of it for years. But yeah, thank you, Edgar, for recommending this to me. And I hope to do an review when I get a chance to do it of the 2 Hunter x Hunter series. As far as enough for Hunter x Hunter, there's about a few films for Hunter x Hunter. I will watch those probably after I finish watching the series, or at least get the series caught up, because I've checked how many episodes are dubbed right now for the second series. Only the first 55 are dubbed, which I'm like, that's weird. Yep. So, that's it. No more videos for Yu Hakusho. This is my last one, because I can't honestly think of anything else I could do, because the first 4 videos were just reviews of each of the 4 seasons. The previous video, which is review of the 2 movies, and this is just my conclusion to it. Okay, but that's it. Stay tuned for more videos, whatever series I wanted to do. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Okay, but I'll see you all in another video. Bye.